right. Good morning. Good morning. Let's wait for everybody to tune in here. And then we'll get going. Dali, good morning. Otabane, good morning. Happy Canada Day to my Canadians. That's right. Good morning. Good morning. Brands, good morning. Coming in here for 2 minutes because I have a meeting, but let's get this chicken. Ed, good morning. Edgar, hi, it's me again. Good morning. Good morning. All right. We'll wait 5 minutes and we'll get it kicked off. Iffy, good morning. Happy Canada Day to you as well. Harry, good morning. Raylan, good morning. Rayhan, sorry. Let's go. We got our favorite ticker, NEO. We're just blasting through things right now. All right, we'll wait 3 more minutes and then we'll get it kicked off here. We'll start off with the SPY as usual and get it going. Yeah, NEO had delivery numbers and also an upgrade. So City analyst Jeff Chung raised the firm's price target from 272 from 58. So let me post that as well. Yes. Deliveries more than doubled in June as well on a year-over-year basis and climbed back sharply despite ongoing global semiconductor chip shortages. Look at that. All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. All right, Millicent, good morning. Vpool, good morning. Peter, good morning. Wendy, good morning. If you guys are tuned in here, go ahead and smash that like button. And hopefully YouTube does good things. So yeah, the PT upgrade on NEO is a 72 price target from Citi. And analyst on that is Jeff Chung. And they reported pretty much doubled their June year-over-year deliveries. And that's the reason why it's running. You know, given the chip shortages and whatnot, if you double your delivery numbers, it's a pretty good sign. But we are coming into resistance on the daily here. So it is what it is. Idris, good morning. All right, 1 more minute and we'll get it kicked off. So I do have some family here due to Canada Day. If you guys hear some noise, disregard it. If my nephew jumps on the computer and starts talking, then I'm just going to let him show you guys how to use the stock market. But we should be all right. We'll get going here in about 30 seconds. Troy, good morning. All right. Let's see where we're at right now. There we go. So let's get started here, guys. What do we got? Again, I say this every single Thursday that we do this. Look at your moving averages. We came back down to it, bounced off the 20 and the 50, came up here. Now, The only issue with this move up was that we were getting very tight range bound and volume was a little decreasing here. All right. However, yesterday, slight increase in volume here. And if we go into the 5-day, 5-minute, we got this massive surge in volume yesterday. Okay. And that's fine. Now, the levels we need to look at, right? The levels we are looking at today, clearly we see this 428.24 level, right? Rejection, rejection, rejection. And yesterday, once we broke it, volume came in. Okay, so now look where we retested pre-market. We retested pre-market at 428.24. Okay, so that level today is going to be the main level we need to watch. Okay, if we hold this level of 428.24, then we can see a push to 429.92, right? 429.92, which is right over here. And this is simply based on pivot points, guys. Like I said, when we are at all-time highs, we're either using pivot points or Fibonacci's to establish the next direction in it. And this 429.92 is next, and then 430.97. All right, so 430.97 puts us right around here. Let me draw this line. 430.97, right? It doesn't have to be exact. Remember, guys, it's just a gauge or an area that we need to keep our eye on. 430.97. And then if we can break these two levels, right? So it was 429.90 and 430.97. If we can break this, we're really going to get a squeeze here because there's people, believe it or not, who are shorting all-time highs here, right? They're saying the market shouldn't be going higher. There's lots of people who are shorting, saying, you know, there's no reason for the market to go higher. Lots of bearish activities happen near all-time highs. And when we break above it and, you know, the prior all-time highs break, we get squeezes. So over this 431 area, we could squeeze. And if we do squeeze, we move to that 433. Okay, that's on the upside. Obviously, to the downside, we have our levels. We lose the 428.24. Coming down to this area right here, right? 426.89. And we can see that we have a test here. We tested it here. And prior, it was acting as resistance, okay? So that's an area to watch. And then the 426.39, again, we have some level of resistance here and support down here, okay? And then ultimately 425.56. Why? Because we have resistance right here. So it's all based on levels, guys. Once you lose one level, you look at the next one, and then you take it from there. All right. Now, let's take a look at the Qs. All right. Let's take a look at the Q daily. Again, steady move up, right? We've had this steady move up. Yesterday, a little bit of a consolidation. And, you know, I've talked about stepping back and taking a look at you know, the sectors as a whole. Take a look at what's been going on with tech. I know we're all really heavily invested in tech, but we can't stray from what's happening, right? We have a move that went from, you know, 316 essentially straight up to 355, right? Yes, we had a little bit of a pullback here. We had a little bit of a pullback here. But if I tell you guys we are super extended from the moving averages, would you not agree? Right? You see how the moving averages are very wide and the candles are far away from the moving average, right? So at some point going forward, we should and we will get a pullback, right? As much as you guys probably don't want to hear that because you're holding a lot of tech stocks. For example, you know, we have NEO that's made a significant run. We have a lot of stocks that are made a significant run. But it's due for some sort of a pullback. Tech in general is a little bit super extended. Whether that pullback is a consolidation at this level or maybe pulls back down to these prior highs right here, right? This level right here, if we pull back and consolidate, great. Then we can continue for the next leg higher. But we need to have a healthy pullback here shortly. Not only is it good for the sectors and the stocks, but also so it can give us even entries for, you know, shorter term swing positions. But with that said, let's take a look at the levels, right? We'll go to the 5-day, 5-minute. What do we see? This 353.78 is a clear level of resistance and support. Here a little bit choppy, but here we respected it, and here we bounced right off of it, okay? So that's the QQQs. 353.78 is going to be the main pivot today. If we break above that or hold above that, we can move to 355.50. Okay, so 355.50, we're looking at right around here, right? Why? Because we saw some resistance right here, right? We see this resistance level right here at 355.50. Okay, now if we break above that, where could we go? We have the next spot we're looking at is 356.45. Let me pull this down. 356.45, and now look at what happens. So remember I said the same thing with the SPY. Once we break above these two resistance areas, we could get a squeeze, right? So just like the SPY, there are people shorting tech sector names right now because they are super extended. But if we do break above these levels, those shorts are going to get squeezed, and we can see a push towards that 358.22, right? And that is right around here. So this will give us, if we break above this, we should see a nice squeeze up to this area, only because I think shorts are going to be in trouble at that point. All right. So that's how the Qs are on the downside here, 353.78. If we lose that, our next area is 352.35. Okay. And then lose that, we have a pretty nice gap here to 351.48. Why? Nothing was traded. You see that? We had this nice push, hit that resistance of 352.35. Pulled back, respected that support, and then just shot up and continued higher. So if we lose 352, we could see 351.48, right? So now with that said, we gave the game plan on the Qs and the SPY. If you guys have questions regarding any tickers that you guys want to look at, we'll go over it. But in the meantime, I want to talk about NEO. All right. I want to talk about NEO, but I also want to talk about AMD. So we'll get to it. Let me zoom this out here. 9-month, 1 day. So these levels here, right, back in March, how many of you guys were scared shitless, right? This is the difference of understanding what you own and investing, okay? When we got to these levels, I always said, use the 200 moving average as an area for you guys to start your positions on your long term. These daily 200 touches on strong momentum stocks and strong sectors don't happen often, guys, right? So we came to this 34 area. I added down here. I got a little greedy. I should have added at that 30 level, but I didn't. So that was my missed opportunity, right? Again, I was just being a little greedy, but I wasn't afraid of adding on the way down, right? Because you need to understand, what do you own? All right. Is this a stock that's trading like, is it a penny stock? Is it a company that is not profitable? You guys need to understand these things when you're thinking about investing in a stock long term, right? There's so many people who are on LI, right? And bought it up here. They had no idea what they were doing. They bought it up here and they held all the way down. I mean, the sector in general is starting to rotate back up here. So some of them are getting lucky, but you need to understand the financials. Why didn't I hold LI long term, right? Why didn't I hold CCIV long term, right? I did not research these finances, and I don't want to research these finances. To me, I find value in NEO. Not to say there's no value in CCIV, but again, understand what you own so you have the confidence to buy at these levels, right? Clearly, this 46.50 area was an area of resistance. We broke above it. Now we're getting solid moved. An area that I was expecting some resistance at was this 52.20 area, right? But it blew right past that yesterday. And where are we coming to? We're coming to that 50.45 area. Some resistance right here, acted as support right here. So that 55.45 area is going to be the main area to keep on watch for NEO and see what it does. If it decides to just rip through this in the morning, then it really opens it up. But I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it rip through 55.45. We need to understand where we are as a whole. 45.32 all the way up to 55 is a massive move on a stock like NEO. All right, we're talking about a 10% or what's that? 23% move, right? Yeah, 23% move. So I needed to consolidate here. I need the Qs to kind of start breathing, pulling back a little bit. Once we get that consolidation, then I'd be okay with this breaking out, and then we can get an explosive move back up towards the 65 area. All right. So there's Neo. I know a lot of you guys were thinking about Neo, and there it is. Okay. So I'm gonna go through the chat here and see what tickers you guys want me to talk about. Oh, I said that I'm gonna talk about AMD as well. So let's talk about AMD as well. So here's the great AMD chart. All right. We went to these all-time highs. We've talked about this many times. This support level on AMD once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. And I said, if we lose this with aggressive selling volume, we have a major gap. But look how buyers continuously stepped up, right? And if you add it at this 200-day moving average, you were golden, right? We had a pullback, 200-day moving average. You start a long-term entry position right here, right? And then what do? Worst case scenario, if this gap breaks, you add at 59, right? These pulls into these 200 moving averages is vital. I've said it time and time again. And here we are, AMD pushing and most likely going to probably touch all-time highs here in the next couple of days. All right, so I'm going to get to the chat here and look at your messages. So first person is talking about PLTR. PLTR clear resistance here at 26, broke above it with nice volume, coming back and retesting it now. All right, very range bound ticker now, small price action, not much range in it these days. Needs to hold 26.20. If it does not, it could pull back towards this moving average of 25.28 before moving higher. In the short term, don't really have much of a trade in it. Maybe if it pulls back to this 24.50 area, forms a pattern, and then you can trade it on the long side. Ticker open. So open door came towards that 200-day moving average, found support right here at these prior support areas at the 1340 area. In the long term, you could probably start, average positioning right here. There is some big buying volumes coming in, so it could be, starting to bottom out. Maybe start a small position here with room to add to 1430. But ultimately, on the short term, if you want to trade this, you need a break above this pivot high right here. Okay, 1856. Break above that, and you have the potential to run to 2148 in the short term. DD. Let's talk about. Is this a new IPO? So yeah, new IPO. I mean, not much here. Don't know what your intentions are with this one, but maybe above this 1563 area, you might get a nice run towards 1630. Apple. All right, people are talking maybe about Wish. It's funny. Let's take a look at Apple here. Same thing, right? Apple. We are getting extended from these moving averages. We need some sort of a pullback. Currently sitting at 136.80. We're at this area of resistance. This 137.90, 137.50. Ideally, like I said, I want this thing to reject. I don't want this to just plow through it. But we play price action, right? We see what happens. In the short term, I wouldn't chase this. Because you're buying into resistance, and what can very easily happen is you reject, you pull back, and you're instantly in the red, right? If you want, the two ways you can play this is wait for consolidation or some sort of a pattern to form on the pullbacks here, and then look for an entry. Or what you could do, if we plow through this 137.90, retest that area, you could take it long. Again, super extended at that point from the moving averages. So we need to be wary of that. All right, you got to ask yourself, if you take this trade here, where are your stops going to be? Right? It's a risk reward type of game, guys. XPEV had this on my watch list here over this 45.53, broke above it pre-market. This should run towards 51.37 here. Nice day of volume here. 45.53 was the area that I was looking at. Broke above that in the pre-market at around 5 a.m. And now just, making its move, grinding slowly upwards, right? We're going to have to see what the tech sector and what the Qs are going to do at the market open to see if this has the strength to push. OLN. OLN had this nice breakout, pushed, and now under the moving average. A little concerning here. We need to really pop back above 47.10, 47.12 in order to continue higher. All right. This little rounding thing that's happening here is a little worrisome, but we're just gonna have to watch and see what happens. Above 47.12, it could continue back higher, but it really needs to get back above that level. Wish and AMC I will not talk about. I don't know why people trade like these stocks. Like, you guys need to understand how to trade. Like, if you are trading meme stocks and simply relying on pumpers to pump your stock up, or simply relying on a short squeeze to make money, your journey in the stock market is going to be short-lived. So get all these AMCs and Wish and all these pumping stocks out of your way and start trading real stocks. That's when your trading career is going to change. Go to just pure flatlining here. Big massive dump. Not really sure what the news was there, but having a hard time finding buyers here. Needs to really get back above the 1664 area in order to start showing some bullish momentum. Not something I would buy. Let's see, BLIN. All I can say is I hope you didn't buy anything above $6 to $8. This is probably going to come back down to $3. Wish, people are asking about Wish again. NVDA. NVDA, man, this thing has been on a total tear. We've rode this thing as day trades from this level of 650. We've traded it here on this pennant. We've traded at this breakout of 720. And I think we traded it here at 775 as well. But just a total tear here. Again, super extended. I did say 825 will come on NVDA, and I want to see that hit. All right, I want to see that hit, and then pull back and consolidate. Plug was doing all right. You know, decent earnings, had nice volume on the earnings day, popped its head back above 34.61 and got stuffed. And then yesterday, it didn't maintain above that 34.60 area. Need this to get back above that pivot, or else we're going to come back down to 30.44, chop around, and then ultimately make a move towards that 37 area. Starting to get choppy. Plug is starting to get choppy here. Cat. Had a nice move, but lost the shorts or moving averages, came back down on massive aggressive selling volume, and now what looks to be happening is we're getting a short pop. Like, this is just short coverings, right? Ultimately, we could roll down and see 199 on CAT, which happens to be a nice support level right here on it. All right, so be a little careful on this. Under two moving averages could roll over to 199. AI. So making higher lows here, again, just something that I wouldn't trade in the short term. Maybe if you want to start a long-term position on it, you could start here at the 200 moving average. Right, I think the 200 moving average started here. You could start it here with, room to add towards that 48, and then targets around 92, even higher if it's long term, right? In the short term, you really need to get back above $78 in order to show its face for you guys here. Also, you may need to charge the laptop. Yes. TTCF. So many people are really obsessed with this ticker. I don't like it at all. Look at these big red. Every time it pops, you have like massive red volumes coming in. Chart wise, at the 200-day moving average, probably an area with good value right there. If you guys want to start in it long term, maybe that's an area you can. But look at it; it's been going sideways for since 2000 and October 2020. All right, it's just a range bound here. So when it comes down to this area, you can see cleared demand zone. And then when it comes up to this area, you can see clear support zone, supply zone, right? Stuck in the middle, very range bound, not something I would trade. SoFi. Not sure what's happening here. Lots of sell and buy volumes, a lot of indecision happening here. Again, I think this is a merger, if I'm not mistaken. Don't really like the chart. Not much there. It's just too choppy for me. These volume bars don't really signify anything. The support is right here at around 1450. You have some resistance right here at 18, which is bouncing off of it right here, right? And then ultimately, you really need to get back above this 2120 area to see a continuation higher, maybe towards that 24. And then if you get above that, you can attempt to test the all-time highs of 28, right? But you really need to get back above that 2120 area on SoFi. All right, guys. So for those of you that are still here, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button. There's about 50 of you here and only 12 likes, so go ahead and smash the button. And we'll take a few more before I sign out here. So AAL, airlines, last couple of days have been fairly weak. Not sure why that is. Maybe there's a rotation happening out of the airlines. But again, this is a nice support area, 2063. And it's really got to hold that level, or it can come back down to that 1820 area before continuing higher. In the short term, not much trade in it. Needs more of a time to set up or pull back into the 200 moving average for a longer term setup on it. Thank you, bro. You are awesome. Ran high yesterday. Looks high again pre-market. CE1. What is it? CUEN. I really hate trading names like this. Like, anytime you see a stock that pops like this and drops significantly, stay away. Like, I can't stress this enough. If you guys are trying to make millions just by trading stocks like this, you're going to go broke quicker than anything. XOP. This is an oil and gas ETF. I don't really like trading ETFs, but it's respecting the 20-day moving average. I don't know. I wouldn't trade ETFs, but there's really no pattern in it either. There's sectors they don't really follow much system other than they follow a bunch of stocks, and that's the average that you're looking at. It's like a basket of stocks on this ETF. Tesla, good old Tesla. Tesla, nice push here. We got it. We took the entries here at 635. Massive run to our first target here at 690. And look where we're consolidating, guys. 690, right? We have this nice tight action happening here. So we really need to just get back above that 697, 700 area. And we can push this back up to 720 and then possibly 750. Where we'll see psychological resistance as well. SPCE, massive move up here, pulled back to that 42.50. Yesterday I was telling people that's the support on it. Even though there was a downgrade on it, I was not okay with shorting it, simply because you had support at 42.50 and 41.60. So now we had that little pop on it yesterday, and we'll see what it does going forward. In the short term, no setup. And if you're trying to buy this long, again, up here, think about what happened here. You bought it here, sold all the way down here. You held, and now we're back here, okay? Don't chase things. Don't chase things. Wait for a setup and understand what you're trying to do, short term or long term. XBEV, we talked about. NEO, we talked about. SPC, we talked about. Smash the like button. Diana wants to talk about Facebook. All right. We'll talk about Facebook, and this will be the last one we take because I got to head back into the room. Facebook, nice aggressive breakout here, pulling back on lighter volume. Maybe at that 343 area, we can see some sort of support and then see if we can pop back up and break over that 358 and push it higher. Again, a name in the tech sector, we're really going to have to follow the cues to understand if these guys want to pull back a little bit or just continue moving higher. All right, guys. So thank you all for tuning in. Again, every Thursday I do go live, and we'll be here at 8:30 every Thursday going over tickers and the market analysis. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and have a wonderful Canada day and a wonderful day trading.